I woke up just recently. I'm sitting outside on this little tiny Greek island. You've got kind of a view going on here. And I've been thinking, um, I just did a recent video on sugar cravings and wanted to mention that. And I've had some people contact me and say, hey, like, I really get bad sugar cravings. I've been carnivore for 6 months now, and I'm still getting sugar cravings. And so I'm thinking about it. I did this video. You can see it. It's just the latest video that I put up on this channel. And it's interesting, this whole sugar craving thing. And it got me thinking. Is eating sugar, in fact, a bad thing for us? And I think ultimately carbohydrates, I say sugar, carbohydrates interchangeably. I think ultimately that no, that we are capable of eating carbohydrates, that we are, our bodies work to also eat carbohydrates for energy. And you get locked into the carnivore lifestyle where it's like zero carbs, just get rid of the carbs. You don't want any carbs. It's bad. And we start to get attached to those boundaries and those borders. So I just thought I would give you my take on it. I think because I just did this video and I've been talking about it on my TikTok channel as well. So you come in to carnivore, you get rid of the carbs, and suddenly you really begin to feel good. Things that you've had, problems that you've had in your body disappear. And you all know that, right? I mean, herpes disappeared after 6 months, okay? It didn't disappear right away, but it did. They disappeared. I don't get herpes outbreaks anymore. Why? Is it the carbs? Is it, are carbs evil and bad? And I don't think so. But what I do think doesn't work is that the way I grew up, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? Those were my years, especially in the States, that it was only carbs. Like, it was a huge amount of carbs on a daily basis. Like, the sugar was through the roof, and just wrong. Like, beep, no, it's wrong. And then because of the overload on a daily basis, again and again and again, your body's gonna no. I mean, this beautiful work of art that we all carry is gonna start to fumble, and so then we have all these problems, and then we come to a carnivore diet or a lion diet, a strict ketovore kind of diet, and we get rid of the carbs, and wow, our bodies begin to work again. They begin to come back into to the way it's supposed to be, and then you get locked into carbs are bad. Like, it's a big no, to stay away, don't touch them. And I don't really think that's true. I think in my general sphere of understanding, and I'm a nobody, right? I don't have any scientific evidence aside from what I read or what, people like Nick Norwitz are talking about on his YouTube channel, Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Sean Baker, Anthony Chaffee, all these people, right, that are in the sphere and discovering new things. But even so, these big guys up there also have their viewpoint on it. So are carbs bad? Really? Are they bad? And I would say they are bad when they are when there's too many of them. And when you go carnivore, ketovore, ketogenic, low carb, and you get under that umbrella and you begin to balance out how your body should be working for the most part on fats and ketones. And then maybe, have you guys heard of this carb cycling thing? Maybe then at the end of the day, you have like a little bit of carbohydrates, or maybe you have a little bit of fruit before you go and do a workout. Maybe you do these types of things. Carb cycling. I find carb cycling very interesting because what it tells me, this, little mind of mine, what it tells me is that our basic state of health is ketogenic. It's in ketones. It's burning fats. It's steady. It's all of these things. Hey, yes, exactly. A little can turn into a lot. So if you are eating, let's say you're doing a this carb cycling thing, could be on a daily basis. So all day you're eating fats, you're running smooth, and then at night, this is what I've been doing. This is what I do in the summer times here in Greece, probably because of the heat, whatever. Then I may have a little boost of carbs. And carbs for me, maybe 5 to 10 grams of carbs, seems to be something though that works well. And if it's on a daily basis, then it's fine. I'm not affected. I'm not getting any herpes outbreaks. I'm not getting any incontinence. I'm not getting my arthritis back. None of that is happening. None of that. I'm still healthy. I'm still healthy. If I begin to have problems, the carbs are the first one to go out the window. But that is a fact. So it's a fact that we so easily slip into the sugars. If you can keep it under control, it's all good, I think. I agree with you. I fully agree with you there. And it's keeping that under control. For me, because I had such awful, awful experiences for 12 years with these really bad outbreaks, right? I've got 4 different kinds of herpes. For those of you who don't know me, HSV1, HSV2, herpes zoster, which is shingles. HSV1 is cold sore. So let's go cold sores, genital herpes, shingles, and Epstein-Barr. So even though Epstein-Barr doesn't give you outbreaks on your skin, you don't have like a physical thing like that. You feel awful. you feel awful. So that's what I suffered with for many years. And it wasn't until I went carnivore. I started raw vegan and then moved through the entire spectrum and then went into carnivore as a last resort. I was on the couch, like completely washed out. I was in a full outbreak. I was feeling awful, and I came across the carnivore diet. I had already done everything else, and I thought, if I try this thing, it's probably going to kill me in a month. And I really honestly thought I would have a heart attack. That it's all that fat. Seriously, how can And I had been vegan for I don't know how many, 8 years, 9 years. 9 years, definitely raw vegan and vegan. And then I started eating like a vegetarian. I started eating dairy again. And then I started eating fish and eggs. And that was it until, but I kept getting the outbreaks. So I thought, well, I've got nothing left to try. Nothing left to try. And I committed myself for a month. And it was difficult. But but I felt so much better. And I thought, wow, is it the meat specifically? And as the years have gone by, I'm 4 years, almost 4.5 years in. And the fact of the matter is that it is the general basis, the foundation of what I eat is is ketogenic. I mean, it's carnivore. It's carnivore. And then a little tiny bit, maybe some carbohydrates. Like once in a while, I will have olives. Once in a while, I will have zucchini. Low glycemic fruits. That's what I do. I don't do any vegetables. I don't do any vegetables. But that's basically where I am. So I'm ketogenic on a daily basis, and then once in a while I will add in a little tiny boost of carbs. Now, after 4.5 years, after 4 years, right? Another way of carb cycling. So if you eat carnivore all day long, and then like if I have a little bit of yogurt, and then if I put in a little bit of honey, and I mean I can't handle sweet anymore. I don't want it, so I'll put in like maybe a quarter teaspoon of honey, that local honey. I don't get the it has to be local. It has to be from somebody I know. So I'll put a little bit of that in, and and it is a boost in carbs. And if I haven't got honey, maybe I'll put in again a little, seriously, like a quarter teaspoon. And I'll put that in. And if you try and measure the carbs, what are you doing? Like 7 carbs or something like that, if even. So that's my carb cycle. And I do that in the summertime. Also in the summertime, many of you know that, yes, I will have watermelon. But how much watermelon will I have? And when will I eat the watermelon? So that's also, I tend to do the nighttime carb thing and then go to bed. So if I have watermelon, which we haven't had yet because we're waiting for the local watermelon across the way. You can see the land in the background there, the mainland. There's a village, and there's this person who grows the best watermelon that I've ever had ever in my entire life. So when we get that for the brief period, 3 or 4 weeks, I will have some of that. But again, not on a daily basis. So am I still a carnivore? That's a big question that people seem to get stuck on. Well, if I'm eating 95% carnivore diet and then I have a little tiny bit of carbs at the end of the day, I still consider myself a carnivore. You could call me carnivore-ish for that 5%. Yeah, thank you. I would agree. I would agree. I think for me, anybody who is, 80% carnivore, 85% strict carnivore, and then eating some carbs, you're still a carnivore in my frame of mind. People differ on that, but whatever. That's just people's ideas of things. So I'm really interested in this carb cycling thing, and I was watching this video by Nick Norwitz. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not one of them, so I'm glad we can hang out today. So the Nick Norwitz has a really, really nice video going through this carb cycling thing, and it can be on a daily basis. You can do carb cycling on a weekly basis. So for 6 days, you're strict carnivore, and then on the 7th day, you add in some carbs, and then you go back to carnivore. Or you can do it on a monthly basis. 3 weeks, you're strict carnivore, and then for a week, you eat in carbs. Or you do it on a seasonal basis. Like, apparently, that's kind of what I have done in the last 2 years because of the watermelon here. So I may do an entire, like 9 months carnivore, and then in the summertime, bring in olives, bring in a little zucchini, and bring in a little watermelon, and just kind of go through that. And then I go back to being fully carnivore as soon as watermelon season is over. That's what I've done in the past the past few years, but I couldn't do it the first 2 years, not at all, because as soon as I started eating, nibbling in on carbs, even though they were low glycemic fruits, even though I did that, I would get a reaction. And the reaction was not a herpes outbreak. Thank God that's done. It's done. It's just done. And it's done because of carnivore. It's done because of carnivore. That is a fact. Maybe if I had done ketovore and I started that way, maybe I would have been fine. But I went straight carnivore because my outbreaks were intense. And if you're gonna do something and you want to like heal yourself, just go do it and heal yourself. I got to remember I have a meeting soon. So if anybody is interested in carnivore diet and, get in touch with me if you have any questions. If you want, especially the questions, I'll take your questions and do on it. That's very helpful for me too. So I know what you need. And so I can, offer my thoughts on whatever it is that you have questions about, because I had the same questions. I had nobody to talk to, nobody to turn to, and it was all trial and error for me. But I didn't do too bad. I didn't do too bad because here I am. 4.5 years later, I get no herpes outbreaks, none whatsoever. It took me about 6 months to heal from the herpes, from that I stopped getting outbreaks. And then if I did like a little bit of tiny carb cycling in the first 2 years, I might wake up with a bump on my lip, and then the next day it would be gone. So it wasn't an outbreak, but it was ready to be an outbreak. If I continued doing eating carbs of any way, shape, or form, I would have gotten an outbreak. So in the first 2 years, I had to be extremely careful. It's just in this last year that I've noticed that I can do like I can eat yogurt. I wasn't able to eat yogurt in the first 2 years at all. It would, after a week, I would get a reaction. And I'm talking about yogurt, just plain yogurt. For some reason, it was a trigger for me. It might not be a trigger for you. So I'm here. I really, really, especially if you've got herpes and you really want to have an option that might fully heal you from outbreaks. I'm not saying you're going to get rid of it, that it's not going to be in your body. I mean, I don't know anything about that. Let other people, deal with that, people who are more equipped. But in my experience, and this is my personal experience, carnivore was the only diet, and I've done all the diets, raw vegan all the way through to carnivore. Hey, Vanessa, what do you eat in a day? I'm thinking of going ketovore or carnivore. Oh, okay. My first suggestion, depending on what you're eating now, if you eat a vast diet and you've got health problems, start ketovore for 2 weeks. Hi. Start ketovore for 2 weeks and then move to carnivore. You can move into it slowly if you have a difficult time. The reason I say that is because some people, I only had a couple of days of that keto flu, and a keto flu actually means carbohydrate addiction, like you're getting rid of your carb addiction, and you go through this process of clearing out while your gut microbiome is changing. So I think you should please send me an email or leave a message in the comments where I can answer you, and we can talk. No charge. So don't think that I'm gonna, like, we can talk and then like and then have you pay me something. I'm here for you. If you are suffering from herpes outbreaks, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. I'm not the only one out there, although this is pretty much for the moment my niche. I don't know anybody else, any other people who are suffered from herpes and gone carnivore and are doing a YouTube channel on it. So, especially if you are if you have any kind of cold sores, shingles, genital herpes, whatever, Epstein-Barr. If there's 8 different kinds of herpes, you guys. If there's 8 different kinds, but those are the 4 main ones. So, but even if you don't have that and you're not suffering from them and it's no big deal, but you've got something else, like I had Hashimoto's, it's gone. That also disappeared on carnivore. So it might be something you want to try for 90 days. That's what I want people to go carnivore for 90 days. Because then afterwards you can go back to ketovore, you can go back to ketogenic, you can add things in. But if you do carnivore for 90 days, that's when you're going to see some very significant adjustments in your health. Hello, Alberta, Canada. I've been carnivore for a couple of years. Thank you. I feel aches and pains, joint inflammation. Hey, honey, carnivore is going to get rid of that almost immediately. If it's your basic classic arthritic pains and inflammation and things like that, it very quickly you will find I had immense adjustments and health benefits with my thing. You guys, I have with somebody a coaching, so I've got to get off and get on my Zoom call with this person, and so I will be back again. I'll be back again tomorrow if you want to do another live and talk to me. I have my email. It should be on my page here, Vida Goes Carnivore. Please send me an email. Write in the comments. Let's talk. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'll help you through it. I'll help you through it. I am your best friend through this thing, right? I can coach you. I've been through it. I know what it's like. I've coached a lot of people, and the results have been incredible. And I want you to take that and just put it in here that your health is in your hands. Your health is in your hands. Yes, follow the doctors. Yes, do whatever you feel you need to do. But take this beautiful masterpiece, this beautiful body, mind, emotional being, and your spirit, and be the one that makes the decisions for you. Take your health into your hands, and what you put in your mouth is the first thing to do. There are other things to do, like getting out in the sun, exercising, coming back to your center, the whole meditation thing, just being in touch with who you are. But the first thing that you need to do is, what are you putting in here? That's number one. And that is going to clear up a lot of the other things and really bring you back to yourself. Please, please, please understand this. Don't take my word for it, but you can talk to me. Go listen to all the other carnivores out there. They're all basically saying the same thing. So start there. Start there. Get in touch with me, Vanessa. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what your troubles are and how we can work through this. Not going to charge you. If you want to do a Zoom call, the first one will be free, but if you want to keep the coaching, then we'll go into a coaching program. But through emails and messages, I will always answer you free of charge. Okay. Just so you know, because I spent years alone and had nobody to talk to. And even if I could find somebody, I couldn't afford to pay for coaching, having people help me out at the time. So I will always be open for that. All right. I got to go. Thanks, you all. I will see you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.